High school for tonight's matchup between the Shamrocks coming in at 7-11 versus Buckeye Local, who's also 7-11.
On the floor for the Shamrocks, Colton Hines, Tayson Starr, Kason Powell, Asa Geilinger, and Jeremy Hunkler. For the Buckeye Local Panthers, Ethan McHugh, number 4, 21, Braden Walker, 24, Cameron Best, 33, Ryder Kinderberg Colabelli, and 44, Hunter Dara.
Powell's shot was off the mark, and Hunkler's going to reset the offense. Ooh, a kick but no call. And Hines to Hunkler, to Geilinger. Back to Hunkler on top to Powell in the corner for 3, and it's good. The Shamrocks are the first on the board tonight here on Veterans Night in Barnesville.
Shamrocks did a pretty good job in that first offensive set, working the ball around, getting Kason open in the corner for a nice easy 3.
Yep, it's nice when you get extra chances. And Buckeye is going to get called for the push, and it'll be Shamrock basketball.
That's going to be on Braden Walker, Coach Pack, his first, team first.
Yep. Hines will bring the ball across midcourt. Buckeye content to be in a 2-3 zone. Got a hand on the pass, but Hunkler comes up. Geilinger with the shot. No good. Powell might have took an extra step there, but it's going to count for 3. And the Rocks are up 6-zip a minute and a half in.
Kason took another wide open 3 in the corner, and I guess if they're not going to come out and guard him, he's just going to keep putting it up and making them.
Buckeye quick with the transition. Evan McHugh will inbound the ball. And he is going to throw it into Cameron Best for their own 3. We approach the 6-minute mark. Hines will go to the right wing. Screen is set by Hunkler on the top of the 2-3. Geilinger is going to collect the rebound. Geilinger avoids the trap in the corner, out to Hines. Hines has time to check the weather, and he makes it rain.
As we came on the air tonight, Coach Pack and I were informed that Colton Hines is currently second on the all-time assist record board for the Shamrocks, trailing Johnny Miller by 1. So with 2 assists tonight, he will take over first place.
No shot, fouls on the floor, and look like Hunkler's going to pick up the foul. It'll be the Shamrocks' first on the night.
Yep, Hunkler's first, team first.
That was at Ethan McHugh off the mark. Good ball movement by the Shamrocks. Deflection by Ryder Kinberg Coabelli. Kinberg Coabelli, a sophomore. Powell from 5 feet behind the line, off the mark. Tayson Starr will pick up the loose ball. Over to Powell. Powell, nice kiss off the glass. And the Shamrocks are up 8, under 5, 11-3. Braden Walker to Best. Best with the elbow jumper to cut the deficit and stop the bleeding for the Panthers. Ooh. It gets through, and Hunkler will get it to Tayson, back to Hunkler, over to Powell, and Hunkler's going to reset things. The throw over behind the screen, off the mark. Loose ball, and the Panthers will collect it. Best with the ball to Kinberg Coabelli. Braden Walker took that last shot off the mark. Hines on the transition. Tayson, loose ball, tries to save it, and Buckeye will collect it. Best with the ball for Buckeye Local. They'll make a move to the bucket. And the pinball machine that's going on in the lane, Buckeye collects it and gets a second chance.
Yeah, Asa Geilinger is going to pick up the foul on that one, his first, team second. That last offensive series, Colton Hines had the right idea, drive into the hoop, just took a second too long to try to make a bounce pass over to Tayson Starr, who was underneath the hoop. Pass was a little close to his feet, and he just got handcuffed, and Tayson tried to save it, but by that time, Buckeye Local had recovered, and they were there to intercept the pass.
Best is good on the first foul shot to cut the deficit to 5. He's off the mark on the second. Geilinger collects it and crosses midcourt. Powell on the wing. Handoff to Hunkler, who gives it back to Powell. Powell on the drive, and it didn't get above the rim. 3:20 to go. Buckeye with the ball. McHugh to Kinberg Coabelli, and it's going to go out of bounds.
Good quick hands there by Jeremy Hunkler to knock that ball out of bounds for the Shamrocks.
Ethan McHugh to inbound to Kinberg Coabelli. Hunkler collects, hands it off to Hines, and Hines is on the left wing. Back to Hunkler at the top of the rock.
Shamrocks have really done a good job so far on the offensive and defensive boards.
Moved the ball well there. Found Geilinger slipping behind the block there for an easy 2. Good ball movement by the Shamrocks. Best likes that elbow jumper, but it's off the mark. Walker over to Ethan McHugh, and McHugh will collect the deuce. Shamrocks are going to take a timeout to talk about it. 2:23 left in the first quarter. Shamrocks up 13-8. Tonight's game is brought to you by Hissam's Gas and JMO Meats. And here on Veterans Night, we're getting towards the end of the season. The sectional draws have occurred. Barnesville's going to get a home game here. They were the number 9 seed, and will play Martins Ferry here next Saturday on the 19th, 7 p.m. here in Barnesville for the first round of the sectional. If they win, they would advance to play West Muskingum, the number 5 seed. Buckeye Trail, we saw them here earlier tonight scouting out Buckeye Local. Trail ended up with the 11th seed, and they get to play at home against Buckeye on Tuesday the 22nd in the first round of the sectional, with the right to go on to likely play Garraway, the top seed in Division III.
And the Shamrocks have already played Martins Ferry twice this season, splitting the 2 games, but you and I had the game here at home, here at Barnesville High School, and we felt like Barnesville could have won that game, and they just didn't have their best effort that night and lost a good hard-fought game to Martins Ferry. So that should be a game that the Shamrocks can come out and win and move on to that second round matchup.
Buckeyes off the mark. Luke Detling is in, and he dials up the three-pointer to double up the Panthers, 16-8. 90 seconds to go, first quarter. Hines with a steal and the hoop. McHugh inbounds to Walker. Walker over to Best. Back to McHugh. McHugh going to find Walker to Best. Best is off the mark.
Oh. I'd like to report Logan Dodds on the floor, number 14 for the Shamrocks also.
So some Shamrocks getting some breaks in there and trying to get the rotation in a more solid shape so that they can have a little fresher legs, which I think will help them down the line.
And I like what they're doing with that press. We've not seen it much the 4 games you and I have done, or 4 or 5 earlier this season. You know, they didn't do a lot of pressing, and I think they're being real successful against Buckeye with it right now. Yeah. And I think they should continue with it. You know, they built a nice 10-point lead.
It would be nice to see that little half-court trap or zone press look, and Shamrocks are showing a little bit of that tonight.
Coming out of the timeout, we got Colton Hines, Jeremy Hunkler, Kason Powell, Luke Detling, and Logan Dodd. And for the Panthers, Walker's on the floor, 21, 33, Colabelli, 24, Best, 4, McHugh, and 44, Hunter Dara.
Hines was comfortable, but it didn't go. Transition, Buckeye likes to get the ball out and down the floor. He finds Kinberg Coabelli. Dodd, feet were set, and it was good. 21-10, under 30 in the first quarter. Detling almost come up with the steal. McHugh in a bad spot there at half court. Gets out of it. Kinberg Coabelli with the shot, and it's off the front of the rim. Powell collects it. 6 seconds to go. Oop, the spin dribble. Powell from the top of the key, off the mark. But the Shamrocks will take a 21-10 advantage going into the second quarter. New all-time assist leader. The girls in their game the other night, they had Alyssa Carter broke the 3-point record with, she was able to hit 9 and knocked off Riley
Stevens, who just set that record last season for the girls. While we have a timeout here and the cheerleaders are doing their little thing, we'd like to say that Barnesville's community pep band was here for the game tonight. Did a wonderful job in the warm-ups, played several tunes that they are known for bringing the crowd alive. Of course, had a good friend, Tim McCrate, always used to like to hear the old Hang On Sloopy, and so got to hear that in the warm-up. And Barnesville's greenhouse has a pretty good turnout student section tonight. Of course, a lot of seniors over there. You know, the Colton Hines being a senior, well-liked amongst his classmates. Supporting him on setting that new school assist record.
And full house here on Veterans Night. We can give a shout out to Mark Hilliard, our Marine teacher here at the high school, Mark Hilliard. And he got some Buckeye local connections down there too. Buckeye inbounds it here to get first chance here in the second quarter.
Both squads come out with the same lineup they ended the first quarter with. No substitutions for either.
Well, I think they got one. Buckeye's got Anthony Deach in.
Oh, that's right. Number 21, I believe. No?
35.
35. You are correct, sir.
Detling and Dodd stayed on the floor for the Shamrocks. Dodd had hit one from the right corner. He's off the mark there. Geilinger with a big rebound. Off the front of the rim, no good. Dodd's going to be the last to touch, and Randy Cunningham is going to signal for Buckeye local basketball.
Asa Geilinger used his athleticism right there. Went up and got that board. Went right back up with Colabelli, but kind of did a little fadeaway hook shot. He just needed to go straight up against the big guy and see what he could do.
Buckeye loses the basketball. Shamrocks trying to make him pay. And the second chance shot by
Jeremy Hunkler
is good. Best with a move to the bucket. Off the rim, no good. Powell in the transition, coast to coast. And he likes it the most. It's in. Timeout, Buckeye local. Starting to get away from them a little bit here. Down 15, 6:35 into the second quarter.
That last bucket gave Kason Powell a quick 10 on the game. Of course, he's currently the high point scorer for the Shamrocks and also for the high point for the game so far.
The Shamrocks played Tuesday night down at River and fell for the third time to the Pilots. But the Pilots are pretty good this season. Their only loss on the year is a Division I team, and they will advance on to the OVAC championship on Saturday at Harrison Central. The 3A game will be the third game of the afternoon, the 2 o'clock game. They're going to take on Lindsley, who defeated Belair in the other semifinal game Tuesday by a large margin. So the Shamrocks will be on the road Friday night at Belair to determine who picks up third place in OVAC 3A. Buckeye with the basketball. McHugh and Best trade the ball, and they're going to lose it and give the Shamrocks possession, leading by 15.
Colton Hines sporting a new do tonight for the Shamrocks.
That look would look good on you, Coach Starr.
Oh, I supported the.
I think you had that look when you were younger.
The semi-mullet back in the day. I was sporting that and feeling pretty proud about myself.
Yeah.
Now I do the high and tight. Just glad to see a couple hairs on top of my head.
That was McHugh with the ball over to Walker. Back to McHugh to Walker. Walker into Deach. Deach back to Walker over to Best. Best with the basketball. He hands off to McHugh, who's going to give it to Hunter Dara. So all the Panthers touched the ball on that possession, but still didn't come away with points. Hines making his move to the hoop, and that was maybe close to a goaltending call there, but the ball hadn't started to come down yet, I guess.
Tayson Stars.
That on the replay.
Yep, Tayson Stars back on the floor for the Shamrocks. He got that offensive board, went up strong, got hammered. He's going to go to the line. He's going to shoot 2 foul shots.
First is no good. Again, like to thank our sponsors tonight, Hissam's Gas and JMO Meats, for bringing you this high school basketball action. One more game on the season. Looks like we'll be able to carry the sectional game next Saturday on the 19th. So if you want to get in and sponsor the sectional game, contact Strauss Films and we'll get you hooked up and you can continue to support high school basketball as we wind up the season.
And Hissam's is located at 827 East Main Street in Barnesville. A full-service station, also carrying propane and auto body needs. JMO Meats located at 400 Mulberry Street in over 40 years of service.
Angie Pack always gets the ham loaf there. Her ham loaf recipe starts at JMO's.
You can't beat the bacon at JMO's. I don't care.
Buckeye comes up with the basketball, struggling against this pressure, and Best is going to run into Hunkler and pick up a foul. But yes.
No, they're going to call that on 24. Cameron Best for Buckeye Local. I mean, it could have went either way, but it looked like Jeremy Hunkler broke in front and got the pass, and Best ran into him. That's going to be Best's first.
Eilinger with the move toward the bucket. Powell from the elbow extended. It's blocked by Dara. Nice give and go. And Randy Cunningham's going to say Buckeye basketball.
That last foul was Buckeye Local's third team foul of the half.
And a turnover again for the Panthers. Hunkler, top of the key, turns back to Powell at the spiking line, and it's good. Extends the lead to the largest on the night, 19 points.
What is that, about 24 feet out, Coach?
That's about 2 or 3 feet behind the 28-foot line. So that's like a 31-foot.
31. Logan Dodd's going to check in for the Shamrock. Jeremy Hunkler's going to take a little breather.
Hines, nice pass to Powell in the lane. He uses all the rim. And the Rocks increase their lead to 21. 4 minutes. We're halfway through the second quarter. Buckeye struggling against the pressure. And they turn it over.
Force another turnover.
Geilinger in a little bit of a tricky spot there at midcourt. Hands it off to Hines. Hines back out to Dodd, over to Geilinger. Geilinger loses the handle on it. Star to Dodd. Dodd makes his move. And the Shamrocks will reset. Makes his move to the hoop. And Hines high off the glass, no good. Walker brings the ball across half court. Passes it off to Best. Best is going to get to go to the foul line.
That foul's on Colton Hines, his first, team third.
Yeah, maybe not go to the foul line. They're going to call it on the floor.
That last offensive set, Colton decided to drive to the bucket. Colabelli came over to defend the rim, and he had a lot of height, had his hands up. Colton put it high up off the glass. It just wasn't the angle he needed on the shot.
McHugh into Dara, back to McHugh, and his shot's no good. Detling is going to bring it across the timeline. Top of the key to Powell. Powell just inside the spiking line, no good. Going to go off Buckeye Local fingers, and the Shamrocks are going to get the ball back.
Hunkler's back in. Tayson Starr's going to get a breather. He's been working hard underneath.
Dodd to inbound to Detling. Detling hands off to Powell. Powell makes his move to the hoop. Spin, dribble, and hoop and a harm. Bucket will be good. And Kaysen will go to the foul line to try to complete the traditional three-point play. Powell is good, and he's up to 18 on the night.
10 in the quarter for Kaysen Powell. He's on fire. He's had a few misses, but I'll tell you what, a lot of them's been money.
Dara comes up short, but on the third chance, lays in the rebound for the Panthers. 34-12 Shamrocks.
Panthers went 5.5 minutes without scoring coming out in this second quarter. It was quite the drought.
Buckeye they like to try to get that transition outlet pass and get down the floor. Good way to avoid the pressure, but are not converting once they do.
Asa Geilinger's back in. Luke Detling's going to head over to the bench. Buckeye Local still has Best, Hunter Dare on the floor, McHugh, Braden Walker, and number 24, 24 Cameron Best.
And Hines loses the handle out of the old Maryland set. Best forced his way on the dribble. Hines a little too much.
He's going to pick up his second foul. He may be heading over to the bench and take a little seat for the rest of the quarter. Not for sure what Coach Hines will do. He's got Tayson Starr.
2 fouls. He's already picked up the assist record. But
Cameron Best is good on the first. He'll get the second here. And yes, Taysom Starr did come in. Colton Hines is going to go over and
get a little break.
Take a breather.
1:46 left in the first half. Second shot no good, 34-13. Shamrocks lead the Panthers. Hunkler to Powell. Powell got the pass to Dodd. Geiler collects the rebound on the backside, does it again, kicks it to Hunkler, who connects for three.
Gives Jeremy Hunkler 5 for the quarter, 5 on for the game.
Good transition by Buckeye, but not the finish that they wanted. The second chance will result in a...
I think that foul's going to be on Asa Geilinger. He was just out of position there.
Attempt. Yep. Gave up too good a look and then gave him a second chance. That's always a bad combination.
Yeah, Hunter Dara went up strong, just had Asa on his hip. Asa tried to defend, and he just got a lot of body and a lot of arm on that.
He picks up the first charity toss. The second one is good as well.
That gives Buckeye Local 15 for the game.
Shamrocks push the ball up the floor quick, and Hunkler knocks home another three. Ooh. Shamrocks continue with the pressure, but Buckeye handled it. McHugh to Dara, and it gets swatted away. Powell unable to collect it. But definitely the speed at which the Shamrocks like to play. They like that up-tempo.
Oh, yeah. You know, we have a lot of quick athletic guys. They get up and down the floor. That last set looked like Jeremy Hunkler made a little signal to Kaysen Powell wanting to get up and was going to throw it up near the rim, see if Kaysen could throw it down, but he just put way too much on that pass, and it was way past the rim before Kaysen could get there.
A little too much air under it. Powell collects the loose ball, makes his move to the hoop, and going to be deflected by Dara. McHugh collects it with 13 seconds. Best is going to bring it across the timeline with 8 seconds. And his shot, elbow jumper, no good. 3 seconds. 2. Geilinger from midcourt, off the backboard, no good. The Shamrocks will take a 40-15 lead into the halftime locker room here on Veterans Night here inside Shamrock Gymnasium. Last regular season home game for the Shamrocks this year. They will be on the road Friday night at Belair to determine the third place finisher on the OVAC consolation game Friday night. Shamrocks went to Belair and won by 15 early in the season, and then the Big Reds were able to pull off a 2-point win here in Barnesville. So we'll get the rub match on Friday to see who wins third place in the OVAC.
Also, while we're talking about future events, this weekend the Barnesville Shamrock Wrestlers will be competing at Versailles in the state dual championship meet. I know last year they competed in the meet and you were able to watch it on YouTube. I don't know if Versailles had that live stream, so I'm not for sure if that will be the case this year. But if you are at home and want to follow the wrestling team up there and see how they do in that state duels competition, you may be able to look for it on YouTube and watch the Shamrocks. Yep. Or just drive on up to Columbus and see it in person.
So the Shamrock Wrestlers coming off a 2-point win over John Marshall here this week. So that was, Shamrocks are definitely getting it done on the mat this season, and big expectations going into the state tournament.
Well, and since the last time we did the broadcast, the Shamrock Wrestlers went on and won the OVAC wrestling, 3A wrestling division. So they are doing well this year.
Yeah, I don't know if there was miscommunication with the band or not, but the band hung in here to halftime and they started playing music. I didn't know if they were going to play some more music or not, but looks like we're not going to get any more from the community band, but they sounded good in pregame.
They did. I would much rather hear the band playing at halftime than what we're currently listening to. Not that I'm not a fan, but when you have a band here, why not let them play? So shout out to the community band. I think they did a great job in warm-ups, and hopefully we can get them here in the next 2 games the Shamrocks are going to get.
Yep. Well, our sponsors tonight, Hissam's Gas, I saw them they're putting in new tanks this week, so Hissam's modernizing and staying environmentally friendly, getting all the things done they need to get done to serve their customers. So Hissam's supporting local high school basketball with tonight's game, and JMO Meats, our other sponsor tonight, bringing you this high school basketball action.
Yeah, I believe that the upgrades are for their new tanks, and I believe that's going to take place on the 14th is when you won't be able to get any gas there. But, of course, the propane and the body shop are still open. Hissam's Gas and Glow, locally owned, been in business for several years, proud supporters of Barnesville Athletics, as is JMO Meats. Of course, like we said, JMO Meats located at 400 Mulberry Street, right in beautiful Barnesville, Ohio. Your local retailer, wholesaler, and custom meats processor for over 40 years. Go see Scott and Renee Moore. The JMO's was, they bought Mr. Moore out, of my understanding, and running the business, and they are wonderful people to deal with, and go in there and get all your custom butchering needs.
Yep, and they've been good to us on the Washington, D.C. trip, supporting high school academics and things, and helped us out with our $500 meat gift card raffle. They've been long-time, big-time supporters of Barnesville High School.
As are the Joneses, who own Hissam's Glass and Go. They proud supporters of Shamrocks, and actually had sponsored one of the previous games that you and I broadcast 2 or 3 weeks ago. So this is at least the second time they have been a sponsor, and can't say enough nice things about them and what they do for the community and local youth sports. So both businesses, please support those businesses that are supporting the youth of our community.
Yep. And Saturday, the other things that are going on in the OVAC, the championship games will be on Saturday up at Harrison Central this year. Changed from being at OUE for all those years. The first game on Saturday is the single A game, and that is, I was trying to look it up here, it's Wellsville and Cameron. Both of those teams are 12-win teams, and they square off at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Wheeling Central and Shadyside play in the 2A game at noon. That ought to be a pretty good game. That'll
be a good, and I think Wheeling Central has won, I thought I heard 7, 8, 9 consecutive OVAC 2A titles, and so I'll be rooting for Shadyside. Maybe one of the few times that I would ever say that. Would like to see the Tigers go ahead and upset Wheeling Central and win that title.
The Tigers have been there a lot over the years too, and they upset Caldwell the other night down at Caldwell.
Yeah.
3-point win to get to the championship. They were the number 3 seed, so they'll square off against the number 1 seed Wheeling Central at noon on Saturday. River, who defeated the Shamrocks Tuesday night, the number 1 seed, will square off against Lindsley, and Lindsley is loaded as well. So that game has got a lot of interest to see. We've got some all 3 of the first games are Ohio versus West Virginia matchups. Wellsville versus Cameron, Wheeling Central versus Shadyside, River versus Lindsley. Then it's an all Ohio matchup in the 4A game. East Liverpool is going to square off against St. Clairsville. St. Clairsville walloped Harrison in the semifinal.
Yeah. And I know they met in the regular season, I believe. Didn't St. C and East Liverpool play because they're both in the Buckeye 8? I'm sure that they had a matchup. I'm not quite sure how that turned out, but I'm fairly certain that they had played once already this year. And then, of course, in the 5A,
Dover and Morgantown.
Dover and Morgantown, that'll be a battle. And Dover's coach, if you watch local sports, when in the semifinal game, he got his 700th career coaching victory, which is unheard of. And so I'm sure that Dover has a legitimate possibility to beat Morgantown in the finals, and that's a trek for both schools. You know, Dover's going to travel an hour or so to get to Caddis, and Morgantown's probably going to travel 2 hours to get to Caddis, so that'll be a heck of a game. Of course, Dover has local ties to Barnesville with their athletic director, Mr. Tim McCrate, graduated high school with me, still considered a really, really good friend, so hopefully he'll be down in the area, and maybe I'll get to see him over the weekend.
Well, and if you haven't been to Harrison Central, it's a whale of a facility. It's worth the trip to go up and check out Harrison Central's relatively new high school. It's a gem of a place, very well thought out, very intelligently designed, very athletic friendly up there. And of course, as my friend Nick Saffield would point out, they've got the money up there, the oil and gas money, to do all those great things. But those games will be streamed on WTRF as well. They've got some of those games on there, and the National Federation games. If you're subscribed to that, you can see some of those OVAC games live streamed on that day or replayed on WTRF. But Friday night, the Shamrocks will be down in Belair. Buckeye Local, they host Fort Fry in their OVAC game. Fort Fry defeated John Marshall in the first OVAC game, beat them by 10. And Buckeye Local is coming off an OVAC win. They beat Southern Local by 10. So overall, a lot of the good matchups. It's always fun to see some of those OVAC teams that don't normally play hook up and see how things go
in your regular season schedule. So,
and a lot of close games in those matchups. So some good basketball to watch. And sectional action will be heating up. Boy, the Eastern District has really messed up sectional basketball play by scheduling all the games at the same time on the same night for the most part. Not like the good old days when you could watch a lot of basketball if you're a basketball junkie and go to Marietta or Caldwell or one of these places and watch a whole day of basketball. That's why, the OVAC games are about the only place for a basketball junkie to go watch a lot of basketballs. One price gets you all day Saturday and you get to see five great games. You know, online tickets are at $8, and it's an all-day ticket. You can't beat that.
And of course, Caddis is a big enough community. You go in, I'm sure, find something to eat. They have.
Well, you can leave and go back and go out to the JP Saloon out there. Isn't it a good place up there in Unionvale if you want to go? Of course, I hear all kinds of good restaurants in Caddis.
Yep.
There's a milkshake place up there too.
Well, and there's the pizza shop that's right across from the courthouse, D'Angelo's, I believe. So always something to grab something to eat and just head on over to Caddis.
We're going to get ready to start second half action. Shamrocks up 40-15. What do you think Buckeye Local drew up at the halftime to get back into this game?
Well, they got to figure out something for Barnesville's press. Every made shot, we're coming out, we're pressing them. They've got to do a better job holding onto the ball and beating the press and getting a better shot. Finishing
their transition. Yeah. That's been a key. They've got some good looks and just not made them.
Yep. Shamrocks come out with Colton Hines, Kason Powell, Jeremy Hunkler, the three seniors of the team, Asa Geilinger, and Tayson Starr, both sophomores. Their starting lineup of the basketball game. Buckeye Local has number 44, Hunter Dara, on the team, on the floor. Number 4, Ethan McHugh. 21, Braden Walker. 33, Ryder Kinberg Colabelli. And number 24, Cameron Best.
Brought it across the timeline and gave it over to McHugh. McHugh to Walker, and Tayson Starr is going to steal it, and it's going to go off McHugh for Buckeye Local, and so Shamrock basketball. Powell was able to score the first 2 buckets of the first 2 points of the third quarter, and he's going to get the second bucket.
That gives Kason Powell 24 on the game. He's
been pretty hot tonight.
Yeah, he's not cooled down since halftime.
Well, this is the time of year to gear up and start playing some of your best ball, make a little bit of a tournament run.
Yeah.
And, next Saturday when the Shamrocks host Martins Ferry in the sectional game, number 9 versus number 10 in the sectional draw, that should be a really good game up for grabs. Either team, whoever's shooting well is probably going to take home the victory. Whoever wants to keep playing on the season.
Yeah. And that's half of it too. You got to have the desire. You got to want to come out, play hard, and get to that next game. And it may not have been the season you wanted, but when the tournament time comes, anything could happen. Anybody could win. You would put 2, 3, 4 good games together. You don't know what could happen.
Best time of the year.
Yeah.
And West Muskingum is a winnable game too. The way the Shamrocks are capable of playing. Certainly could win a couple tournament games and get to play somebody pretty formidable in the district.
Of course, West Muskingum, do they play in the MVL? Are they in the MVL?
I believe so, yeah.
The restrictions of that league, they don't play any crossover games. They're only allowed to be in one conference, so you don't see a lot of them. You're not going to see.
It's harder to tell, to compare just how good they are. That was McHugh.
Number 4, Ethan McHugh with the putback.
Hines setting up the offense. Almost a 1-4 set. Geilinger pops to the elbow. He's going to make his move. Hunter Dara reaches out and just grabs him. And he said, "What? You're not allowed to do that?"
Yeah. That's Dara's team first for this second half.
And if we get to 35 points here, this game will be over a lot quicker. 35 points, the mercy rule kicks in. And
is that continued running clock even through, is it through timeouts and everything?
The only time it would stop is for
during
timeouts and an injury. So the Shamrocks are getting close to that at 49-17. Now the clock would stop running if you get it back under 30. But there's been the story of the night for Buckeye. They get a good look at the hoop and aren't able to cash it in.
Should point out we were talking, but Asa Geilinger was good from the foul line on those previous 2 free throws on the previous
has the Shamrocks
series.
up 32, 3 points away from a running clock. The big man is going to draw the foul. Geilinger got a little too much contact.
And I think if he'd have just went straight up and made it a more difficult shot, but he tried to block it and got a big chunk of
bailed him out with the foul.
Hunter Dara's forearm on that one. So Dara's going to go to the line, shoot 2 for Buckeye Local. He's going to make the first. Shamrocks are going to send in number 10, Braden Willis, his first action of the night. Colton Hines is going to go take a seat. Hunter Dara sinks the second. He's got 6 on the game for the Panthers.
Geilinger lane to the bucket. Hoop into harm.
Well, the 2 big men are going at each other.
Hunter Dara tried to time that one up, but got a little too much contact. Good sportsmanship there by...
Yep. Asa went up, tried to block Hunter. The previous offensive set, got called for the foul. That time Asa went strong to the bucket, and Hunter Dara said, "I'm not going to have any of it," but Asa was still able to make it.
Yep.
That's Dara's second foul for the team, I should say.
Buckeye coaching staff not real happy with giving him the lane to the bucket and trying the tomahawk chop swat to as a way of defending that on the block. Would rather the big man get in front of the ball. Best for 3.
And Asa doesn't do a bad job handling the ball for a bigger guy.
One of the better ball handlers you're going to see out of a big man. Powell with another three. And we're flirting with 35. 33 right now, 55-22. I'm sure Powell hopes Buckeye can maybe pick up the score in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely to his advantage on having a big night if we don't get to the mercy rule.
Well, Powell's got 10 in the quarter, 28 on the game, and that looked like it was a lot of arm on that one. It took the official a second to call it.
Another tomahawk chop to the forehead.
He called that one on number 24, Cameron Best. His second, team third. Kason Powell's going to go to the line and shoot two. Be his second and third on the game. He made the first one in the second quarter. He's going to drain that one.
And this could make it to 35 and trigger the running clock. So
Logan Dodd's going to head to the scorer's table for the Shamrocks and check in.
Willis
that looks like it could have been a travel, but and that was caught him on the rollover.
Little hockey-style basketball there. The body check put Willis down on a good clean screen, but
Geilinger is going to go out with Logan Dodd entering the basketball game.
And the clock is a running clock at this point, so that will hasten the end here. Unless the Panthers can get it back down under 30, the clock will continue to run. Hunkler from the elbow makes it 37. Best over to Deach. Best back with the ball to Walker. Deach with a off-balanced fling it to hoop. Powell's going to collect it off Tayson Starr. 61-22 Shamrocks, approaching the 2-minute mark of the third quarter. Best makes his move to the hoop, and he's going to pick up the hoop in the harm.
And I think that's could have been called on either Shamrock defender. They're going to call it on number 4, Tayson Starr. His first, team's second.
The and one situation here, and with the running clock, when you get to shoot foul shots here with a running clock going, it really makes the game go fast.
Colton Hines checked in, and Tayson Starr went to the bench.
Dodd with the basketball, back to the senior Hines. The Shamrocks got 3 seniors here on the floor. Powell, Hines, and Hunkler. Last regular season home game of the year. Willis, a freshman, and Dodd, a junior. Deach, that shot looked a lot better. 3 points for him. Hines sees the double team coming, goes the other way. Powell for 3, and he's up to 35, under a minute to go in the quarter. Buckeye Best has a nice kiss off the glass.
I got a feeling this final stanza here, Coach, and we're going to see Shamrocks get several players in and out of the game.
Yep, I'd say that.
You know, even if it's a running clock or they keep it below, whether it's right now it's a 34-point game, I think Coach Hines will get a lot of his younger players in, let them see some action, as long as the game's still in hand, of course.
Yep, but you want to let the seniors enjoy.
That would look like it. Number 4 McHugh got a little piece of that one.
And Best puts it up, no good. It'll stay a 34-point bulge, 64-30. The Panthers will have to get it under 30 to stop the running clock. But the Shamrocks definitely having their way tonight. Shot the ball well. and I'm sure they're hoping this is the way they shoot the ball when Martins Ferry comes to town. Both Buckeye and the Shamrocks are 7-11 on the season, so looks like the Shamrocks will be headed towards win number 8 on the year. They were the number 9 seed in the Division III sectional this year. Buckeye Local, the 14th seed in Division III. They will travel to Buckeye Trail on February 22nd for their first round game with the Warriors in Guernsey County.
Shamrocks are going to come out with their starting lineup, probably, I can imagine, for maybe a minute or two, and you'll just start to see those Coach Hines take advantage of getting fresh legs on the floor with some younger players. Buckeye Local is going to bring in number 40, Jacob Berry, number 30, Dane Carter, 35, Anthony Deach, number 25, James Hess, and number 4, Cameron Best is still on the floor for Buckeye Local.
Number 40, Jacob Berry had a second chance shot there, but didn't get it to go. Powell makes his move and 37
that
points.
That appears to be Casey Powell's 1,000th career point.
Yep. Definitely good to be able to get it at home.
Very, very good honor for Casey Powell. He's a wonderful student, wonderful athlete. Couldn't be happier for him to get that kind of recognition tonight. That a good accomplishment for him.
I'm not sure that's a legal move to change basketballs here. I know the referee's going to go.
Yeah, they're kind of wondering. Coach Hines tried to bowl that across the thing, and think they realize
you got to finish the game with the ball that you
started. Yeah, you got the ball you started with. They're going to take a second, get a picture with Casey Powell, and Coach Pack and I are trying to photobomb it, but we weren't successful.
Nope, they turned around when they saw us.
Nothing like a hug from your mom, you know?
Yep, that's good. You have to take
very, very, very good family, good young man. Couldn't be happier for him.
And not a lot of 1,000-point scorers at Barnesville, so that's a pretty big honor.
And with Kaysen, he's got 37 on the game right now, and you know what? I'd just leave him in and let him keep on firing. Why not?
You're having a 37-point night on your last night in a Shamrock uniform in the regular season.
Yeah, so why not? Asa getting a little grabby there, picking up his 4th. He might be going to the bench. We have 2 subs coming in. Number 12, Luke Detling, and 14, Logan Dodd coming in. Tayson Starr and Asa Geilinger are going to head over to the bench for the Shamrocks.
And again, running clock here. Shamrocks up 36. Dodd knocks
Quick
it away.
hands by Dodd, and Jeremy Hunkler come up with it.
Barnes are going to call a timeout to get their subs in.
Coming in for the Shamrocks after this timeout is going to be number 2, Jason Duker Costello, 0, Casey Carpenter, and number 10, Braden Willis. Staying on for the Shamrocks, Logan Dodd and Luke Detling. Shamrocks are going to give up some size, but they're going to have a lot of quick hands, quick feet on the floor. I'm sure it'll still be going up and down.
Continuation of the JV game, which the Shamrocks were 55-38 winners of the JV game tonight. And you're going to get to see a little bit more of that as we go here. Willis makes his move to the bucket. Carpenter with a pass into
Casey
Costello.
Carpenter in that headband reminds me of Will Ferrell in the movie Semi-Pro. Of course, he's in a little better shape than Will Ferrell, but just whatever reason, it just made me think of that, Coach.
Yep. That looked like a semi-pro move right there. As Best is going to get knocked to the floor. And
little hip check by Braden Willis. That's legal in the NHL, but not in high school basketball.
Little ELE, everybody love everybody.
Yeah.
And the clock continues to roll. Panthers down 36.
Best is at the line for two. He missed the first. Number 45, Isaac Chandler checking in for Buckeye Local. Number 25, James Hess is going to head over to the bench.
Yep. Both teams going deep on the bench.
Number 33, Ryder Kindberg Colabelli's in, and Cameron Best is going to go over and take a seat. He's had a pretty good game for Buckeye Local tonight.
Detling to Dodd. Dodd to Costello. Costello gets tangled up in the lane. Kicks it back out to Carpenter. Carpenter shot off the mark. Detling with a rebound. Dodd collects it.
33, Aiden Van Horn, and number 44, Cam Carpenter, going to check in the next time out for the Shamrocks,
Willis
hopefully.
To Costello, to Detling, to Dodd. Costello breaks open in the lane, kicks it back out to Dodd. Dodd from the elbow, just short. Deach will collect it for Buckeye Local. Or no, that's Ryder Kindberg Colabelli.
That's his second tray tonight. He's got 8 on the game for Buckeye Local.
Deach is 35 over there, but those two standing side by side, they look pretty similar. Detling will get 3. Coabella over to Deach. Deach to Jacob Berry. And I think that was Dane Carter, number 30, that put that one off the mark. Isaac Chandler's in there too for Buckeye Local. We go under the 3-minute mark. 69-34 Shamrocks. Costello, nice flow, but
didn't have his legs under him on that shot. Just real flat. Got to get those legs under him, go up strong. There, that looked much better. Still short.
Randy Cunningham almost had an assist on that last play. The ball bounced off the referee's chest there.
I think number 40.
That's
Jacob Berry's going to be called for the foul for Buckeye Local. Cam and Aiden are going to check in. Logan Dodd, Luke Costello will head over to the bench for the Shamrocks.
And the clock continues to roll on Veterans Night here in Barnesville.
Well, truth be told, Aiden Van Horn's flowing golden locks look a little bit more like Will Ferrell in semi-pro, but he'd have to eat about 600 cheeseburgers to get to the Will Ferrell's size.
They had corn dog night at the Mega Bowl. But I don't know. The Shamrocks aren't going to score 100 tonight, but maybe could have if without the running clock. And I don't know if that would have led to free corn dogs or not, but
Willis, he's going to sink the first.
But thank goodness Mark Cook isn't still here. If we'd had to give out free corn dogs, he would have probably
would have had a heart attack. Or to make up for it, he would have hid the ketchup and mustard, and you'd had to eat it plain.
Yep. 45. That's Isaac Chandler for 2 points for the Panthers. Carpenter pulls up just inside 3-point line, doesn't go. Van Horn goes up strong.
Stayed Barnesville possession on that tie-up. Aiden Van Horn went up and got it.
Van Horn out to Willis. Willis a little too strong on the shot. Buckeye with the transition. Heinberg Coabella lays it in for 2. Under 30 seconds. Carpenter moves to the hoop.
A little scoop. Look like Dr. J.
We're at 20 seconds. Shamrocks 73, Panthers 38.
35-point lead for the Shamrocks.
Shamrocks are going to pick up win number 8 on the season, and they're going to improve to 8-11. Buckeye Local is going to fall to 7-12 on the year. That's the ball game. Shamrocks are on the road Friday night at Belair for the OVAC 3A matchup. Buckeye will be hosting Fort Fry the same night. But definitely want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Hissam's Gas and Go and JMO Meats for bringing you this high school basketball action. We got one more home game on the schedule. That's on the 19th, Saturday, 7 p.m. Shamrocks versus Martins Ferry, and that one's for a little extra. That'll be the sectional first game of the sectional. It's the pigtail game. Winner goes on to play West Muskingum in the sectional final, and that game would be played at West Muskingum. Buckeye Local, they'll play their first game of the sectional on February 22nd at Buckeye Trail, the 11 seed. Buckeye Local, the 14th seed. Good night for the Shamrocks. We set all-time assist record for Colton Hines, and Kaysen Powell goes over the 1,000-point mark for the Shamrocks. And so overall, pretty happy night for the Shamrocks. Powell ended the night with 37 points. Hines had 5 points to go along with his record-setting assists. Tayson Starr had 1. Geilinger had 7. Hunkler had 10. And Casey Carpenter had 2. Braden Willis had 2. And Logan Dodd had 3 to finish out the scoring. Shamrocks on the quarter scored 21, 19, 24, and 9. Buckeye was 10, 5, 15, and 8. The second and fourth quarters were not kind to Buckeye Local. Only 13 points total in those 2 quarters, and the Shamrocks, looked like a team that could be dangerous at tournament time.
They could definitely win some games. It's just they can't be that team that comes out, is kind of flat, not really making the shots, and having a lot of turnovers. 4 passes,
balls, getting trapped, bringing the ball up. They've got to be the team that played tonight.
Yep.
Hustling on defense, making good shots, taking good shots, hitting the boards, making good good decisions with the basketball, and they could win several games. Like you said, if you beat Martins Ferry and then you go play West Muskingum, you beat them, you're looking at probably playing Sandy Valley, who would be after that in the next round, or whoever they play. So there's games that Barnesville can go out and win. They just have to be the team that played tonight and not the team that we've seen a few other nights when they weren't at their best, because they've got some real basketball players. They got some good players. They just need to be, at this time of the season, the best team that they can be. They can't have letdowns.
Thank you, and thank Hissam's and JMO Meats,
Yep.
and hopefully we'll see you on the 19th.
Hissam's Gas and Glow at 827 East Main Street. JMO Meats, located 400 Mulberry Street, both in Barnesville, Ohio. Make sure you patronize those businesses that support youth athletics.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Hasta la vida.